Hi, this is Matt with AppliancePartsPros.com. Today we'll be showing you how to repair your appliance. Remember, anytime you work on an appliance, make sure it's unplugged or the circuit breakers are off so there's no chance of electrocution. In this video, we're going to show you how to change out the Frigidaire washer drive motor. It's going to be a very easy repair and should only take a few minutes to show you how to do it. If you already have one of these, great. If not, you can click on the link below or get it at AppliancePartsPros.com. When you open up the package, you're going to get the new drive motor. The drive motor is located in the bottom of the washer, and it's what drives the washer tub. The main reason you'd be changing it out is if it's failed and the tub's not turning. In order to change the part, we have to go around to the back of the washer. We're going to use our Phillips screwdriver to take the screws out. We're going to take all these out, but we're going to loosen the bottom one up and leave it there. Once you have the bottom screw loose, you can lift the access panel off and set it aside. Now that we have the access panel off, we can get to the part. You want to be careful of this edge right here. It's pretty sharp. You don't want to cut yourself. First thing we're going to do is take the belt off. We're just going to grab the belt and pull on it and turn the drum pulley. And the belt should come off, no problem. Now that we have the belt off, we can start to take the motor off. We're going to reach in with a small flathead screwdriver and take the round wire off. Once you have the ground wire off, we can disconnect the main wiring harness. There's two locking tabs up here that we have to press and release so we can pull the plug off the motor. Once you have that off, there's one little wiring harness holder that we have to take off, but we're going to take that off once we take the motor off the tub. Now we can take the motor off the tub. It's held in by 3 bolts. They're 5/16. We're going to use a socket with an extension to get the 2 front ones here, and then the one further back in, we're going to add a longer extension. Now that we have the bolts out, we can reach in and push the drive motor towards the front of the washer. It should just slide forward a little bit and drop off the mounting pegs. And then we can spin it around so we can take that wire connector off. Once you have the motor turned around, we can grab a set of pliers and compress the plastic clamp from the back side and pull it out from the front. Once you have it released, you can set the wire harness aside and then carefully reach in and pull the motor out of the washer. Here's the old drive motor next to the new one. If you already have one of these, great. If not, you can get it at AppliancePartsPros.com. In order to put the new motor in, we're just going to carefully get it underneath the tub. Now that we have the motor in, we can lift it up and mount it onto the 4 mounting pegs. Once you have it on all 4, you can slide it forward. Now that we have the motor mounted to the tub, we can put the screws in. We're going to use our 5/16 socket with the long extension and the ratchet. When you put them in, you want to pull back on the motor because as you drive the screws into the motor, you're going to have to cut the threads. So it might be a little bit harder to drive than normal. Now that we have the front 2 in, we can add an extension to the ratchet and put in the one in the back. Now that we have all 3 screws in, we can reconnect the wiring harness. Before we reconnect the wiring harness, we're going to put in the wire harness holder. All you have to do is line it up with the hole and snap it in. Once you have it in, we can grab the wire harness and plug it into the motor. It can only go on there one way, so you want to make sure you just push it all the way on so you get a good connection. Once you have it plugged in, we can grab the grounding wire and plug it onto the motor. Once you have the grounding wire on, we can put the belt back on. To put the belt on, you want to line it up with the motor pulley, making sure that the grooves are against the pulley on the motor. And then holding it there on the motor, you want to run the belt up on the right-hand side along the bigger pulley, and then start to turn the bigger pulley. Once it gets tight, you're going to have to hold it, and then you can continue to turn it as it stretches the belt all the way around the pulley, just like a bike chain. Once you have it on there, you can give it a few spins to make sure it's not going to come off, and then we can put the back panel on. Put the back panel on, we're just going to line up the center bottom screw and set it in place, and then we can use our Phillips screwdriver to tighten on the bottom screw and put the rest in. Now that we have the back panel installed, we can plug the washer back in and take it for a spin. Thanks for joining us for another successful repair brought to you by AppliancePartsPros.com. Check out our other repair videos on our site, Facebook, and YouTube.